Okay, so before we start this video, I gotta talk about my major Eagles conspiracy theory that I have going on right now. I've got to share it with you guys because this is interesting, okay? I was just doing a live stream, and a viewer came on, and he posted a comment, and it was Sean Sunderland. Shout out to you. Thank you for sending me this. And he said this: I noticed all the jerseys are reduced. Something is going on. And I said, what do you mean all reduced? So I went to the Eagles Pro Shop, and sure enough, as you can see, all the jerseys have been reduced price-wise. All of them, not just old jerseys, not just clearance jerseys, but all of them except for one. There was one jersey that I found that wasn't reduced. It was a Brian Dawkins throwback jersey, a legacy jersey. All the other ones with the current jersey and the current uniform the Eagles are using are reduced. Now, we're all waiting for Kelly Green, and this simply could be just to help promote when Kelly Green comes in. But if you're going to do that and bring in a Kelly Green, why would you reduce the normal jerseys? Could it be possible that the Eagles have been holding out this whole entire time because it's not, in fact, just Kelly Green that's coming back, but the Eagles have also revamped their home and away jerseys? Could it be possible that maybe we're getting 3 new jerseys? Updated home, updated away, and an alternate Kelly Green, and that these reduced prices are the old model jerseys, are the old jerseys that they're not going to be wearing anymore, so they're now on sale? Could that possibly be what's going on? Why on earth would they put all these jerseys on sale when you're just going to add Kelly Green to the mix? I don't know what is going on. It could simply be just Kelly Green, but could we be just getting a whole revamped jersey? I said this before. I think the Eagles need to change it all. I think it needs an update. And I think when you saw the new word mark, that was a telltale sign that eventually, very soon, they are going to revamp the home aways, and it's going to happen. Could it be now? I was thinking it would be one more year from now, and this year would be Kelly Green's, and then the following year would be a revamp. But could they be holding out because we're about to get not just Kelly Green alternates, but we're about to get a revamped home and away jerseys? I don't know, but I'm ready to go. I'm excited. With that said, let's get to this video. On the eve of camp, and everything, I mean everything, is set up perfectly. Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, Dingbat here, and hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're hanging in there. So we're on the eve of camp, and I cannot wait to get this started, as the Eagles have to avoid the Super Bowl hangover, which has been really hard for teams to do in the past. But this team is built different. They are built to be able to go back to the Super Bowl, and with an easy conference, I think we're well on our way. Now, before we get into it, if you're new to the channel, you like the content, make sure you hit that like button. More importantly, make sure you subscribe to the most censored, the most throttled Eagles content creator in all of the internet. And I just want to say thank you guys for all the support you give to me. Make sure, if you haven't, to subscribe, because we are going to be live just about every day this week. Should be live tomorrow, probably around between 3 and 4 Eastern time. It really just depends on work, but look for that. Should be a lot of fun, and I want to thank everybody who was in my stream earlier. It was a lot. It was a great time. Love talking Eagles football with you guys, and I'm really, really excited about everything that's going on. Now, speaking of the going-ons, in the video I did last night, I talked about how everything was kind of smooth sailing for the Eagles, while the Cowboys and the Giants, they seem to have a lot of problems. And it looks like it's coming to fruition for the Dallas Cowboys. Today it was reported Zach Martin is not on the plane going to Oxnard. Zach Martin, watch. Pro Bowl guard isn't on the team's flight for Southern California. People with knowledge of the situation said several other key veterans, players, aren't required to report until tomorrow, weren't on the flight, but they are expected to meet there. Stay tuned. Now, him not being on the flight isn't the big deal. The big deal is that we've already heard reports that he may skip training camp, that he may hold out because he wants a new contract. He isn't getting paid nearly what he's worth, and I think that's a fair statement to say. It's definitely the situation, but the Cowboys haven't sounded like they're even interested in renegotiating his contract. So we got to watch, and we got to see if he's going to report. We'll also be watching to see what happens with Saquon Barkley. As far as the Philadelphia Eagles go, it looks like we have smooth sailing. We don't expect anybody to be missing, anybody to hold out. I think we're good to go. I think we're ready to go. And I think, what's really interesting is, if you remember the year we won a Super Bowl, we came into that year so banged up, man. We had so many guys that had to have off-season surgeries, this, that, the other. We just weren't healthy to start that following year when we were trying to defend our championship. This team, for the most part, was healthy last year, and they're healthy going into camp. And I think that's a really, really good thing. And I know you guys have seen this because we talked about this in the live stream, but Milton Williams looks like a beast. He looks like an absolute beast. Look at this. Milton Williams has been in the lab this offseason. Look at him, man. He looks like he's in shape. He looks like I used to look when I was 25 years old, and I ain't joking. I had cannons, baby. I was the man. Now I just eat the man. Pause. Oh, wait, pause. What I'm trying to say is, I like eating myself. Pause again. I'm saying like I'm two of me's is what I'm trying to say. Oh, God, that just really came out bad. I'm sorry about that. But anyways, Milton Williams looks like he's in tremendous shape. And that's a great thing. And I think Jordan Davis is going to be in tremendous shape. And if you could take that up, I just can't believe that came out that way. Oh, that was bad. It's the season. What are you going to do? But Milton Williams in the rotation with the Eagles, I think it's going to be fine. They're going to be fine at defensive tackle. And Milton Williams has shown talent. He's shown flashes. I think being in the shape he is, I think he play inside. I think he play outside. And it's going to be interesting to see how the Eagles use him. But if he is what we think he can be, and then you get Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Fletcher Cox, and they all are who they are, dude, you're set at defensive tackle. Not to mention Street that they got from New Orleans, who's going to be very interesting nonetheless himself. I think the defensive tackle position, we're going to be fine. Now, the question, of course, a lot of people are going to say, well, you did lose Javon Hargrave. You can't deny that that's a loss. The guy had double-digit sacks for defensive tackle. And I agree, it is a loss. But I don't know what better kind of way to make up for losing him than to get perhaps the most talented player in the draft. If it wasn't for the off-the-field thing and incident with the driving for Jalen Carter, he could have literally been the first-round pick. You got to remember, in the draft, Chicago only traded out of that because Jalen Carter was going to drop in the draft. They decided, boom, we're out. And they traded back. If Jalen Carter would have been, if off-the-field stuff didn't happen, Chicago would have stayed at 1. I truly believe that, and taken them. So the Eagles are in a good position at defensive tackle. A lot of talent, a lot of young guys. And I expect Milton Williams to have a pretty good year. I'm really excited to see what he could do, see what that whole defensive tackle position could do. I really think that Jordan Davis is the key, though. And the reason I say that is because I feel like we know what we're going to get with Jalen Carter. We know what you're going to get with Fletcher Cox. But if Jordan Davis takes the step and lives up to being that number 1 pick and comes in shape, and he's forcing teams to have to deal with him and double team him, it's going to open up everything for everybody else. I really feel like Jordan Davis, if he is what I think he's going to be this year, I think it takes the defense to another level. I really do, and I think it's going to make it easier for Nakobe Dean. So I like where we're at with our defensive tackles. Now, one of the things, that I said early in this video was talking about the Super Bowl hangover. You've got to avoid the Super Bowl hangover. And I got to say, it is a concern of mine because I just know the history of teams that lose in the Super Bowl tend to struggle the following year. Not all teams, but a lot of teams do. The Eagles have to avoid that. And I think the way Nick Sirianni is handling it is the right way. Now he's even done some things where he brought confetti from the Super Bowl and showed the players and reminded them. But what I like about it is this isn't going to be something he's doing all year. You do it early, you make your point, and then you get to work. And here's what they said. And this was, I guess, an article from The Athletic. Nick Sirianni says he showed the Pound Eagles confetti from the Super Bowl loss during a team meeting this offseason and quoted a pastor. Quote, you can't admire the results and desire the reward if you don't embrace the routine that produces the reward. I totally agree with that sentiment. That is like my workout routine sentiment, because I don't usually feel like doing it, but I have to do it anyways, and I have to keep that kind of thought in my mind. You have to embrace the travel. You have to embrace the road that you have to take. And that's a very important statement. Also, here's the other thing. He's not going to continuously beat it into the players. Oh, you lost Super Bowl. Oh, you lost Super Bowl. Here's a reminder you lost Super Bowl. Here's a reminder you lost Super Bowl. Sometimes that gets counterproductive, and it gets to be too much. Nick Sirianni insists he will not be using constant reminders of the Super Bowl loss as an attempt to motivate the team throughout the year. As, quote, what is understood doesn't need to be explained. Pound Eagles. And I agree. I mean, you can only say it so many times. You can only repeat it so many times. And then people are going to lose. You're going to tune people out, is basically what I'm trying to say. And I think you do it a little bit, and then you get to work. I think, really, the Eagles, what I like about them coming from this last Super Bowl more than in 2017 is I think they're a lot healthier. I also think that Jalen Hurts is built differently. I think Jalen Hurts is ultra competitive, wants to win every year, and I don't think that just going to the Super Bowl and having a good year is good enough for him. So I think with him and the other leadership on this team, I think the Eagles will be fine, and they will be able to avoid the hangover. I really do. Now, I don't think necessarily everything has to always be smooth all the time. I think that, you could come in, and the way I think that this is going to play out, and it's just my opinion, the way I see this playing out is that the Eagles' offense early is going to carry this team. And then I think by the end of the season and going to playoffs, the defense is going to catch up. But I do think with the amount of changes, especially on the defense, with your defensive tackles, with you have rookie defensive tackle on Jalen Carter, you lost Hargrave, Jordan Davis is only his second year. Then you look at the linebacking situation. You got all new linebackers, safeties, the same situation. So it's going to, especially on defense, it's going to take time. You got a new coordinator, and I think that the offense, being that pretty much you have everybody back, you have your head coach back, you have your quarterback coach who's now your offensive coordinator who's been there, I expect the offense to carry the defense early on, and then I think at the end of the year the defense catches up and they start to make a real impact when you go back into the playoffs. The other thing that I really like that's on the Eagles side is that the conference isn't that good. I don't think this is really a good conference. If you look at all the great quarterbacks in the league, most of them are in the AFC. The AFC is going to be a slugfest. Meanwhile, the Eagles, I think, you're looking at the 49ers, you're looking at Dallas, you're looking, I don't want to say Minnesota, but I guess. I mean, I don't know. I don't think there are that many great teams in the NFC, and I think that the Philadelphia Eagles' road to the Super Bowl back, I think it's a lot easier than if you were in the AFC. Your AFC is going to be tough. NFC, not so much. So I think the Eagles will be good to go. I really do. And I just think avoid the hangover, start off good, have a good camp, and you'll be good. We saw C.J. Gardner-Johnson. He got hurt. We talked about that in the live stream. Thank God he's okay. I hate to see anybody get hurt. But, those are the things that we want to avoid. We need to stay healthy, and we need to be ready for the season. I don't expect the Eagles to play a lot of preseason games as the starters. I think we'll see a lot of Mariota. I think we'll see a lot of the backups. I think you'll see a ton of Trey Sermon. I think we'll see that because the last few years the Eagles haven't played their players in preseason really, maybe like 2 drives. And it doesn't seem like it's affected them at all. So I think we'll be ready to go. With that said, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I will be live, about about 2-3 tomorrow Eastern, between 2 and 4, we'll say. I will be live. Look for that Eagles report, and maybe, just maybe, we'll hear about Kelly Green. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's Howie Vision. We're all just living in it. Now, the Eagles, when they come to camp and they report, these guys are going to have to go through their physicals, and they have to go do their conditioning drills and stuff like that. Remember a few years ago, you had Jalen Reagor came in and failed his physical, not his physical, but his conditioning drills. I really want to see how Jordan Davis does in his conditioning drills. I think he's in shape. I think they say he lost something like 24 pounds or something like that. I expect big things from Jordan Davis this year. I do. I think he's going to have a monster year, and I cannot wait. With that said, Denzel Washington, out.